For more, I'm joined by Anya Manuel. She's director of the Aspen Security Forum and a former State Department official focused on South Asia policy. Also with us is Dewardrick McNeil. He's managing director at Longview Global and a former Department of Defense official focused on East Asia security relations. He's also a CNBC contributor. Welcome to you both. Anya, I'll begin with you. I don't even know what we ask. The language is so stark. I guess the question is, how does the U.S. respond?
Absolutely. The language is very stark, but this nationalistic tone is normal for President Xi. Just usually an American audience doesn't pay as much attention to his speeches. This speech was designed to be reassuring for his domestic audience and a little bit worrisome for the world. It signals China is back. We're not afraid. We will not be bullied. And he feeds right into the increasingly nationalistic impulses that you have, especially in the younger generation of Chinese. How should the U.S. respond?
Go ahead.
I think by not saying very much for now.
But what point does that make, Anya? Do we just kind of, sit here and go, okay, sure, yeah, you can say things like that, and we just nod along, and you can, tell us what our companies what to say about Taiwan, and sort of set the terms for doing business in China, and this, and do we stay silent and just kind of nod along?
No, definitely not along. I think the Biden administration is doing a quite good job with this already. When Tony Blinken met in Alaska with his Chinese counterpart, there was a big speech given like this. Tony then stood up, Secretary Blinken then stood up and said, look, here's how we see the world. You see the world differently. And they have a pretty good rhythm now. They're going to cooperate on the few things we can cooperate on, but we'll challenge China where we need to challenge them. What does all this mean for U.S. business? I think the idea that there's going to be a détente and it'll get much easier with the Trump administration no longer in power, I think that unfortunately is not going to be the case. Yeah. Relations between China and the U.S. will continue to be rocky.
And that's actually the point that Neil Ferguson makes as well in a piece for the Times Literary Supplement, Dewardrick, where he says, more or less, this is a second Cold War. He says, just because the first one lasted around 40 years is no guarantee the same will be true of Cold War II. Those making U.S. foreign policy today must hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. It may indeed be a long game. So, Dewardrick, if that's the case, what do companies, American companies, investors, what does everybody do in the meantime?
Yeah, it's a good question, Kelly. Look, I agree with Anja. We do not need to sit silently, and the Biden administration is not doing that. As you well know, the G7 was an attempt to try and rally like-minded countries around what they consider to be assertive behavior that China has been exhibiting. For Western businesses, this is a tough one because, quite frankly, we are pushing to a point where the Chinese are passing laws and the U.S. have already passed regulations that's really going to force a business to choose between short-term profits or longer-term security challenges and control from China, who's made it clear that there are ways in which they are open, but it's open with limits. I call this setting the edge, and there's going to be very little room to run to the left or to the right of China in terms of what it considers its core interests: Taiwan, Xinjiang, Hong Kong, South China Sea. And so this is rough going, but I think we're going to have to figure out whether or not Beijing sees the value in having U.S. and other investors helping them to continue what Xi has tried to make to his people the case for earned legitimacy, meaning we have delivered for the Chinese people. You're powerful, you're rich, and that's largely because China has been open to outside engagement and investment. But if this is coming to an end, I think China's going to have a rough road ahead, continuing to deliver for the Chinese.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.